Yep.
Unfortunately, it gave it to the dragon.
Mm.
What you gonna do?
It's just the way things go.
It is. Anyway, okay? So what are we doing? Sorry about that.
So the notes that I have on the black dragon says that it doesn't work well with other dragons. It doesn't like them.
I mean, generally, that is you do know that to be true in general. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, we were just talking about why it is trying to make a deal with us as opposed to just eating us. Like,
Yeah. I mean, you could make an insight check.
okay, sure.
Go for it.
I'm thinking possibly that it's not as spry as it used to be, so it like manipulates people to like do its stuff for them.
I mean, I just think the one that is the first one to fight, but I don't know. It probably just put its spell on me. I got to put a spell on.
Yeah, like you were going after. We had to pull you out of the ancient red dragon, and you're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Let's hear this thing out, guys."
Sounds
Okay.
reasonable.
Oh, I got a 6.
A 6. I mean, there could be any number of reasons why it wanted to. It could be what Cirthus is saying. It could be, it could just be that it doesn't want to deal with it. It could be that it's bored and it wants to see what will happen.
Yeah.
You're not sure.
Cool. So, how do y'all think we should go next? Do you want Jordan to do, Chomp to do a teleportation thing, or do we need to go settle up back in town?
Yeah, I don't remember what we had going on back in town.
I don't know.
I don't think there was anything really holding us there. Maybe like our gear, but that's about all.
Oh yeah, did y'all leave any gear in Bronbog? I can't remember.
I mean, is we have Metal Child. That and so probably grabbed everything.
Yeah, it's usually in the bag of holding.
I mean, yeah, it's up to you. I mean, you probably don't have anything else in Bronbog. Although, as you're discussing this, Harper looks at you and like, "Are you serious? Are you just gonna leave me alone out here?"
You do that to us all the time.
I mean, I don't leave you alone. I told you that I wasn't necessarily good at the fights.
Well, we're not good at navigating, so that's how we hurt.
Deep sigh.
You can come with us.
And to where?
I don't know.
I also don't love that idea. Why don't we go back to Bronbog? Make sure we didn't forget anything. Maybe pick up another one of those healing potions. Did we see the caravan?
I mean, you saw bits of the caravan near here that were
Was
just...
there enough to like poke through and see if there was anything to scavenge?
Not really. Y'all did, and you found a few coins and things, but not much else.
Okay. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to put one ahead back through there to pick up supplies or something. And I think
Bronbog?
Chompney wants to ask something.
Oh yeah. The slave bracelet ring item. I think Surface had it.
Oh yeah, there was a the slave bracelet, half pool, whatever you want to call it. Cirthus does have it, yes.
And if no one else was going to use it, I was thinking about using it. I guess that's some. I think it requires attunement, maybe, but
It does.
I'd like to get attuned to it before we take on a dragon.
Serthus, thoughts? It should be in your inventory somewhere. Yeah, there it is. It's called Sahanin's Hathful. Thoughts? I don't know.
And do I have the teleportation sigils for Singapore?
You have one for Singorn, one for Iman. Y'all found one for the Cobalt Vault in Vasselheim, which is not supposed to exist, but it does. And then you have one for the personal residence of Usu, the cleric of the Platinum Dragon in somewhere. Oh gosh, on the East Coast. I can't remember. Crap.
Something with a V, right?
Well, there's Vasselheim, but that's different. I need a map. Where is my map? Map. Alright. Maps. Teldore. In Stilben, which was the small port on the east coast of Teldore. Alright, so Sean, if you hadn't heard, Chomp is wondering if he can use the item that you had found in the Troll's Cave.
Oh yeah. I've actually been saying that makes sense and that I didn't know how to transfer it, but I had my stuff muted.
Oh, okay. That's what was happening. Alright. I can transfer it over if you want.
Yeah.
So I'll do that real quick. It'll just be a second. Manage equipment. There it is. Okay, Chomp, if you refresh, it should be in your thing. Do you remember what it does?
I remember looking at it and it. I know one of the effects. Generally speaking, it made spells go boom.
Yeah, it makes damage rolls twice as effective, basically.
Yeah.
But it can also once per day allow you to cast Alter Self.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give myself some cat ears.
And just as he hands it over to you, if you could roll an Arcana check, or actually no, roll a Religion check real quick.
Okay. Boom! 25. Special 20.
Nice.
Oh wow. All right. So you know after, because you've identified this before and you've kind of mulled it over in your mind. Sehanin is part of the is one of the prime deities, the good gods of Exandria. Specifically, she's known as the Moonweaver, and her symbol is the moon, or sometimes an arrow. And she's known as the trickster goddess.
Ooh, fun.
Yes, not a lot of people worship her, but they're around, and yeah, she's the goddess of illusion and moonlight and the night and things like that. You know, just for some backstory. But yes. Okay. Do. And I shouldn't say the moon, because there are two moons in Exandria. There's a larger one and a smaller one. Specifically, she is the goddess of the larger moon. Which I can't remember the name of. Give me a second.
Big Moon. That's what it's called.
The Big Moon. Big Moon. One is... yeah, Katha is the big moon. It's very similar in appearance to Earth's moon. Ruidus is the second moon. It's a smaller, a little bit further off, has a longer cycle. So it's not always in the sky. But it's there. Because it has two moons, it can really mess with things like lycanthropy and things like that. Like, there can be times when the werewolves are stronger.
Ooh, a double werewolf.
Exactly. But that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, so y'all gonna head back with Harper trudging through the woods to Braunbog?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Does anybody have some good nature stats to look for mushrooms? I mean, might as well if you found a few. That would be
I have a +3.
lucrative.
I have +4 to nature. I don't mind rolling.
Would it be nature, or would it be like...
I mean, it would be a nature check to, on the way, check for... Like, I would say investigation, but nature makes more sense, because you're not so familiar with these that, you know... Because there's a lot of fungi in this swamp, and some of them are very similar.
Would you buy a medicine roll?
Whew.
What?
Yeah, I would say a medicine roll could work. Because it is, you know, for a health potion, so...
Alright, let's see what we get.
I got a natural 1.
14.
Okay. I mean, it's... On the way, you find a few interesting mushrooms, but queenscap is hard to find. On this first day traveling, because it's several days travel back to Braunbog, but you don't find any on this day, on the first day. Would somebody like to just roll a perception check, just keeping an eye out during the day? Because you are still in T-Rex territory at the moment.
I can do that.
Go for it.
Ooh. 9.
9.
+6 perception.
Wow, that was a low roll then. In any case then, just to see, let me get the table up here. Could somebody just roll a d20 for me? Anyone?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, what do you got?
8.
8. Okay.
This is starting to feel like a random monster.
What are you talking about? As the day goes on, kind of distracted by looking for mushrooms and things, it's hard to keep a track of what's going on. You do it a couple times, hear some fairly nearby kind of dinosaur type sounds and things like that. But actually, with that roll, you don't run into anything on this first day anyway. But setting up for the night in your regular kind of dome, y'all kind of fall asleep. Those of you who do sleep anyway, Roland kind of just in a trance over to the side, half awake. Cirthus, of course, never sleeping at all, but just arms crossed, just watching. Sometimes eyes glazing over to look through Casilda's eyes. Not a lot goes by during the night, but waking up in the morning before the dome actually fades, Chomp, you, upon waking up and opening your eyes, see several dozen eyes looking into yours. It seems extremely close up.
Ah,
What do you do?
Flail?
Yeah, I try to. I say, like wave my hands in front of my face, trying to swat it away. Or...
Yeah, I mean, coming awake and seeing this kind of go like this, your hand brushes and knocks off what looks like, about a quarter-sized spider that was just sitting on your nose, staring into your eyes. And as you sit up, you see more spiders that seem to be coming from the pouch at your side. Like, one by one, they're just crawling out of it.
Oh. We're asleep? Other people...
I mean, the rest of you were mostly asleep right now, except for that Cirthus was awake. But hearing this, I imagine the rest of you waking up, you see Chomp just kind of batting at his face, trying to get something off, and you see those of you who are observant enough, anyway. So that would be Zippo, and I think Cirthus has pretty good perception. You see these spiders start to pour out of, like, first a few and then dozens coming out of the pouch that sits on his side under his cloak.
What the hell do you keep in the pouch?
Yeah, I definitely scramble to my feet and
Take it off.
take the pouch off, like throw the pouch down.
Okay. As
Light it on fire.
it hits the ground, it opens and a bunch more, like just hundreds of spiders coming out, along with the ruby that you keep in that pouch.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna start eating the spiders.
Like this fist-sized ruby comes out of the pouch that's just flashing like every maybe half second, and as it does, each time a spider just apparates out of it. Although as it hits into the light, like it does that a few times and then it stops, and no new spiders show up.
I'm actually a little more at ease now that I see the ruby. I realize what is going on, and I'm not as, I understand the situation a little more now.
Okay.
I'm freaking out. Stomping on.
It's okay, guys. It's okay, guys. That's the ruby to bluff.
Yeah, but there's still spiders.
Understandable.
I'm gonna stop shoving the spiders in my mouth and start trying to spit them up.
Yeah.
And Zippo's like,
I counter that. I'm gonna keep eating them.
that's fair. And lizard folk do have a fairly dexterous tongue, so you just kind of
We
Consume
consuming
them.
the enemy, but man, can I do a religion check or an arcana check on the ruby?
I mean, it would definitely be. I mean, you could do either, whichever one you'd like to do.
8. It's not much.
8, and what were you? Which check were you doing? Because it's going to depend on what you remember. Religion. I mean, there's spiders. You figure it's got to be, it's the demon queen of spiders that's doing this. If it is religion, if it is like an evil, divine type thing.
I'm going to. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna call out to Loth. Timidly, Loth. Is that you, Loth? Are you there?
I mean, you don't hear anything right away.
If you are, you can go kick rocks.
That's just one lizard folk's opinion.
What? Why are we? Please, I know I haven't maybe been here for as many of your hijinks. Why are we trying to communicate with Locke?
Well, I felt like she was trying to communicate with us. I just was gonna ask her about her little spider friends. I don't know what. I feel like she was trying to say something, or see, this ruby doesn't usually produce so many spiders.
What does it usually do?
Summons.
Well, it usually it allows me or contains a shadow demon that I can control.
Okay, so there is a lot here for me to unpack. Perhaps you were unaware of Locke's reputation?
Well, at the time.
I mean, we were,
we were in a hard spot.
I mean, specifically, this ruby you found before you ever had a run-in with Law.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where'd you find?
I don't know. Picked it up in some loot along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was actually just about to unattune from the Ruby of Law when this happened.
Okay.
It sounds like a fantastic idea.
There you go.
Here's some payload.
So you're gonna attune to Sahanine's bracelet then?
Yeah, I was gonna attune to that in place of the Ruby.
Sounds great.
But definitely not try to give away, lose, or sell the Ruby just yet.
That might be a good idea, yeah.
I'll hang on to it, you know.
All right. So as you're kind of discussing this and finishing attuning to your new toy, the dome fades. The remaining few spiders kind of just wander off into the woods. Most of them eaten or crushed. But you're on your second day of travel. Harper is just kind of sitting to the side, arms crossed, just like, what the fuck did I get myself into? But is ready to guide you for another day. Who would like to make a perception roll for just keeping an eye out for today?
I'll do it. It can't be bad again.
Go for it.
Son of a bitch. Hey, where do I keep doing this digital dice? I got an 8.
I see that. Did you? I just realized that I can track rolls if you do them digitally in the D&D Beyond app.
Yeah, that was an update
Cool.
a little while ago.
Yeah, that's cool. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that was a terrible roll. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Twice in a row.
All right. Well.
Yep.
So keep an eye out. I mean, luckily you have a guide, so you don't need to figure out where you're going. But, oh my. You just rolling for the heck of it, Sean? Fun.
Nope, I did that much damage. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
That's fun. Anyway, I mean, maybe it's you're distracted because a bunch of spiders tried to crawl over you this morning, but it seems to be hard just to keep an eye out today. I mean, luckily as Harper tells you as the day goes on, you're getting further from those kind of, that kind of dinosaur area. But moving on, you do realize that you've just kind of been spacing out for a while. and don't remember like the last several miles of travel. Could somebody roll a d20 again? Just somebody other than Tom this time.
I will.
Go for it.
It is rocking. A 19.
Nice.
19. Okay. As later in the afternoon, you are going through this especially murky, muddy part where the trails kind of go in and out of pools and things like that, and you're just kind of trying to walk on clumps of live grass that are coming up out of the swamp. The going is slow, but you start to hear this sound, kind of this loud, deeper chittering sound, like you kind of stop for a moment, and you hear movement a ways off, maybe 50 meters off in the brush, and a little bit of splashing. What would y'all like to do?
Does anybody else hear that?
I mean, all of you hear it for sure.
Yeah. Does anybody know what that is? That's some pretty loud chittering.
Can I do a nature check?
What was that? Sorry, there was two people.
No, go first. Somebody, Christian, I think was going to say something.
Oh, I was just saying it's massive, but yeah.
Well, whoever wants to roll for a nature check then to see if they.
I got all told a 20.
I mean, that's pretty good. Okay. You've heard things like this before, but only on the edges of the swamp. And in fact, you're kind of surprised to hear it here, as they generally aren't heard or seen anywhere near like the more wet areas of the swamp. But you've heard it called a land shark before.
It's a dire beaver.
A dire beaver. Sometimes called a boulette. But basically a burrowing animal, which is why they're not seen in the deeper parts of the swamp often. But when it's above ground, yeah.
We ran across one in the Underdark, I believe, in the arena battle, maybe?
You did, yeah.
That's right. Battle sharks.
No. Not those. Not the street sharks. That was
Street
something.
sharks.
Biker mice from Mars.
Yes. Gargoyles? I don't know. We're making 90s references. Hearing that it's this kind of familiar thing, and knowing that it's not undangerous, and it can do some damage, what would y'all like to do?
It hasn't made itself known, right? Or this is just, it's somewhere off in the bushes?
I mean, it's near-ish, but it hasn't. You don't feel like it's heard you yet.
Well, let's not let it surprise, get the drop on us. So, I'm gonna ready my weapon.
Okay. Everybody else? Are we standing in place, or are we continuing to travel, or what are we doing?
I mean, do I know that they'd be like especially aggressive?
I mean, they like to. They generally are fairly aggressive in that they like to attack and eat whatever moves and is smaller than them, and they are pretty good size. Like even maybe a large size as compared to your medium size.
I mean, I think we should. I think we should go. We should kill it.
Let's do it. Once it
I
pops
mean,
out.
yeah. I mean, I guess everybody just be ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's stalking us or something.
I mean, as you have kind of discussed this a little bit, even in low voices, you heard the chittering sound stop and heard a little bit of splashing and then silence.
Hmm. Uh,
Do you think it would be of any benefit to us to get up in the trees?
is there... Oh, you can go ahead and answer that.
I mean,
I was gonna ask if I could do a survival to track it or figure out.
I mean, you can. Yeah. Go ahead and roll a survival check.
Not as bad. 13.
13. I mean, looking out there in the swampland and the pools that are around you, you see a couple kind of ripples in places, but nothing that looks like it's something the size of what you know this thing would be.
I guess we'll just keep going.
I mean, we could climb a tree, but
We can't stay there forever.
yeah,
You want to cast fly on all of us?
I don't know if I can do that to everybody. Right?
Let's all just fly through the
I'll
forest.
probably get a couple people to try.
Do you want to? I mean, we could, like you said, keep going, and then if it shows itself, perhaps we look for the advantage of height.
Yeah, I think everybody just stay on their toes.
Cool. Let's keep going then.
Yep.
Okay. You
I guess maybe
continue.
at a slow pace. If you.
Okay. Are you going to be sneaky or are you going to be just walking?
We can try to.
Okay. Everybody roll a stealth check.
Yay.
Ooh, actually, not too bad.
I'll roll for Roland.
I got a 16.
I got a 12.
I got a 17 minus 1. 16.
Okay. Not bad. And Roland, I need to look up real quick. Give me a second. Oh, gosh. Come on, Roland. Because I keep forgetting Roland's here and I need to roll for him. But he's a rogue. He's sneaky, right?
Yeah, totally passed.
Yep.
In fact, he gets advantage. Oh gosh. So Roland rolled a 30.
Nice.
And just disappears into the grass nearby you. Sean, what did you get?
17.
17. Okay. Okay. So as you as a group are fairly stealthy coming through here. I mean, a couple times somebody slips a little bit of water splashes, and you all hold your breath for a moment until nothing happens, and you continue on. At some point behind you now, as you've gone maybe another good quarter mile, but still fairly close, as if it's still hunting for you, you hear that chittering sound again happen. And all kind of freezing. I'm gonna have you roll just to see if you can get out of this thing's kind of hunting grounds here. Roll another stealth check for the next kind of continuation.
I got a
Quick
5.
question.
Oh gosh, yeah, Sean.
I see that when some people roll it, it rolls and it calls out what it's for. How do you do that?
Go to the skill page, and if you just tap on the square that says bonus next to that skill.
Yeah, if you click on the square next to the thing, yeah, there it is. You got it.
Look what I get.
All right. Tom, what do you got for another?
I have rolled an 11.
And Roland rolled a 28. Chomp rolls a
Wait, where
14.
did Dylan go? I don't see him.
He's pretty good. For that matter, I should roll for Harper. Oh yeah, okay. Of course, we're doing this as a group though because you are all together. Whew.
Really brought that average down.
It did bring the average, but what did you have, Tom?
An 11.
An 11. Okay, so we got. Oh, I realized. Okay. So I got 3 successes and 4 failures because I've been rolling for the Metal Child and Harper as well. So as you are all kind of going through, once again, re-stealthing or trying to think about, being even quieter. Cirthus, as you're skirting the edge of one of these muddy pools, your foot slips on a mossy rock and you just go up to the hip into this mud and water, just splashing. And you hear this kind of low rumble suddenly. And no more than a couple seconds later, from the ground, the muddy ground and water next to you, there is this sudden burst about 20 feet away. And leaping out is this same kind of thing that you all had remembered from, some of you had remembered from the Underdark. A little bit different color, possibly a little bit smaller, but it also looks like covered in kind of moss and kelp and who knows what other kind of growths. And as it jumps at you, could all of you make a quick strength or dexterity saving throw? It's up to you.
I will choose then to make a wisdom throw.
Well, that is not one of the choices.
19.
Okay.
Strength, if that matters.
It doesn't matter which.
15.
15? Okay. Okay. Let me say something.
I accidentally did a check, but then I did a straight check at 14.
Okay. So, could everybody... Yeah, so everybody but Zipple. Oh gosh. I need some D6s here. Give me a second. Yep.
Get that scroll ready.
Alright, so everybody but Zipple takes 20 bludgeoning damage and 13 slashing damage. And all of you that failed, which is everybody but Zipple, is knocked prone. Zipple, you take 10 bludgeoning damage and 6 slashing damage.
Alright, 10 and 6.
Yes. 20 and
15
13.
is...
What? 15 is a fail, yeah.
Okay, and it was what? 20 and 13?
20 and 13, yeah. Bludgeoning and slashing.
23.
And you all are pushed. Everybody but Zipple, anyway, is suddenly, because you were all kind of in a loose group, are pushed 5 feet out of the space of this creature. Okay. And at this point, we are in the what's it called? Initiative. So if you could all roll initiative. My brain's not working. It's been too long since I D&D. Uh-oh. Okay, what do we got? Who has between 20 and 25? All right, who has between 15 and 20?
I got 17.
17. All right.
I got 18.
All right. So we got some good rolls. Not bad, anyway. Who has between 10 and 15?
I got a 10. Yeah, 10.
A 10 for Chomp. I'm afraid to ask, what did you get, Tom?
I got a 4.
A 4. All right. I'm going to run roll-in for this. He rolled a 5. All right. So at the top of the round, what's your dexterity, Cirthus?
Uh, 11.
Oh, oh gosh. What's your intelligence? Because you are the same dexterity as a bullet, apparently.
So they won on initiative?
You were gonna win. They had 18 as well, and you tied
gotcha.
on dexterity, but you win on intelligence. So we're gonna go with you first. So as it crashes into you all, and you all just are knocked prone, or most of you are knocked prone, and take that damage. What are you gonna do? It's your turn.
Are there trees nearby?
I mean, there's just trees everywhere here. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. One of the things I'm going to do is bamf up into a tree, away from these things.
Okay. So as you apparate, suddenly in a puff of smoke into this tree, make a quick just acrobatics check, because I mean these are mossy trees around, and you're suddenly having to grasp onto it. It's a low DC, but I just want to make sure. Acrobatics check.
Sorry, muted. 11.
11.
Something.
You're okay. So as you slip for a second, you catch yourself, and you're in the tree. Was that your bonus action?
Yes.
All right. What's your action?
Mind spike.
Okay.
Okay, so wisdom save.
That it would be. Let me see. That is a 10. I'm guessing that's a failure.
Yeah.
All right.
25 damage.
25 damage. Okay.
And now I know if it disappears like under the ground or whatever, I know where it's at.
Awesome. All right. So as you gesture towards it and concentrate for a second and release this spike of arcane energy flies towards it, and seems to lodge in the side of its head and then quickly burrow, and it kind of flinches to the side and kind of brings its 6 limbs in, like close to itself, and kind of crunches up for a second before it just roars and starts looking around for what did that to it. At which point it is its turn, and not being able to get to you real quick because you're, let's say, 20 feet up in a tree. It's gonna go after, let's see, the biggest one nearby because it's hungry. So Crom, it's going after you. And that is a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, I hardly ever use D12s. All right, and you take 25 piercing damage as it just, with its razor sharp teeth, just goes right into your thigh. All right. That's its turn. So, Crom, you are up actually, as it's like this thing's teeth are still just coming out of your thighs. Blood starts to kind of pour down over your knee, like you're hurt. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go into a rage.
Rage. Go for it. All right.
Rage. And with the Vindicator,
Mm-hmm.
am I close enough to it?
I mean,
Does it just
it literally just bit into your thigh. Yeah, so you're definitely in melee range.
All right. Ah, son of a bitch. Are you serious? Fuck, I hate these digital dice. I got a 1,
A 1, that is a miss.
but with my plus, I got 11.
So
But-
11 still misses, yeah.
Okay. I have an extra attack though.
Go for it, yeah.
Are you? Okay. I thought that was a 1. It's a 7. So 17 hit.
17 just hits. So go ahead and roll for damage.
And then plus 3, so 18 damage.
18 damage, all right. Let me bring it back up. I need to do math real quick to make sure I keep track of this. Uh-huh. Okay, so as it comes off and you go into this rage just after feeling like these teeth go into your leg and just like, I can't deal with this right now. You come down and the Vindicator bites into the chitinous armor around it, and it actually pierces through, and like this little bit of like purple goo, this dark kind of liquid starts to come out. I mean, it's a tough looking beast, but it's already pretty hurt. Like it didn't take a lot between what Cirthus did and what you did. But yeah, anything else, or is that your turn?
That's my turn.
All right. Chomp, then, you are up.
I am. Okay, I will. I'm gonna use chromatic orb and let's see, I get to choose the type. I will do. I don't know. I'm gonna use 5th level chromatic orb.
Oh, that's over.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna smite this thing from the face of it. 5th level chromatic orb. I'm gonna do thunder damage,
Okay.
Boom.
and I'm also going to use alchemical casting to increase the damage.
Okay.
Whoa.
I mean, remember, are you attuned to the thing now, too?
I am.
Are you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was finishing the attunement after that first night, I think, right?
Yeah.
You. Oh,
So you would double your basic damage die. Yeah.
Is it double?
I mean, you would.
The
Well,
description says it just adds another damage dice.
Is it add another damage? I can't remember.
But I
What is
mean,
it?
you make the items to your.
Let me
will.
see what it does. I can't remember. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. I want to make sure. It might be that it just adds another damage dice. It's been a while since I looked at it, to be fair. There it is. Yeah, it's add 1 extra die. Okay. So, yeah. Okay.
So, all right. So we're gonna do. Well, I guess I got to do a attack roll. Okay, yeah, I was getting ahead of myself. Attack roll first.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and roll attack.
14.
14 does not hit. As you go ahead and you're like, oh, I'm pissed at this thing, and release, it's moving around pretty fast. Even as Crom has gone down into it. Yeah, and it just kind of glances off to the side, off its armor, which is fairly hard, if you remember.
Yeah, so with my movement, I'm gonna try to scramble up a tree, I guess.
Okay, and yeah.
I mean, how close is it?
I mean, it's right on. You're no more than about 10 feet away, because it did knock you all back. And technically, you all were prone. I was just assuming that Crom had gotten up from her prone position. But you could scramble up a tree and make a quick acrobatics check. Or athletics check, it's up to you.
Let's see. Okay, we're gonna go with acrobatics. Oh no.
Oh no! I'm telling you, because digital dice are.
It's a natural 1, which is a total of 3.
Oh, you're dead.
And as you try to scramble up, like I said earlier with Cirthus, as he landed in the tree, it's slippery in here. Like the moss is just slimy, and as even as you put one hand up to go up, it just slips right off, and you tumble backwards, back to a prone position actually. All right, but next up would be Roland, who I assume would get up, move into range and attack with his rapier, and that is a 20 to hit. So D8. There's a D8. There's a D8. And that is 12 damage. Okay. All right. So as Roland just gets up, just with an exasperated look, stabs in forward with his rapier, and it goes right in through the eye, just impaling this thing. It isn't quite dead yet, but it's real close. And in that case, Zippel, you are up.
Zippel is going to create a sun out of pure light energy and sling it at this thing with his spiritual weapon spell.
Okay.
Which does fuck all. 13.
That's to hit? Yeah, that does not hit.
He will then go over to who just fell out of the tree, Surface?
Chomp just kind of tried to climb the tree but fell right over.
I guess I'll move over to where they are. So I don't think I can pick them up.
I mean, because spiritual weapon is a bonus
attack.
Yeah, but it's a bonus action, yes. So you couldn't do another. You couldn't do another attack spell, but you could do another type of spell if you wanted to right now.
No, I think it's an action. It's a bonus action to move it and repeat an attack.
Is that right? Let me see this.
Actually, I don't think I could have mind spiked
Why is that?
because that's a regular spell. So,
Right. Here, give me a second. In that case, it's still very alive.
25 health. But I'll do, I can do a cantrip. Come on.
This is true.
I'm gonna do that instead. Old Eldritch Blast.
Go for it.
3. Wait, no, I can do 2.
No, spiritual weapon is a casting time of 1 bonus action. You can still do a cantrip.
I guess I'll help you chomp up.
Okay.
No, fuck him. I'm gonna use Sacred Flame.
All right. Go ahead and that's a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
Ooh, and they roll a 19,
Which meets.
so it beats.
Okay, well.
So as you start to give me a hand and pull me up out of the mud, you change your mind and
You're
go
like,
up.
screw that.
You've like started to lean
Wow.
into it, and then I just let you go.
That's very nice. All right, Serthus, that gets us back to the top of the order with you. What would you like to do? Because we're going to redo, since you couldn't have done Mind Spike. I can take that out of there. But what would you like to do? First, to replace that, and then for your new turn. You are still on mute.
All right, so yeah, 25 back for that one, but I was gonna do the Eldritch Blast. Does a 12 hit?
12 does not.
All right, let's see here.
How many beams does it do now?
2.
Okay.
So both of them missed.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so
So I
that'll be
guess-
that first one.
So my spike now,
There you go. All right.
unless you. Yeah, 18.
Let me see something. I gotta get rid of this.
Unless it fails, it passes its save.
One second. So it rolled. What's the save? What kind of save? So wisdom save?
Yeah, Wisdom 15.
Yeah. So it rolled a 19. Again.
Half of 18.
That's the second natural 19. So half of it, yeah, half as much damage. So 9. All right. All right, minus 9 equals. Let me do math real quick. Okay. All right. So in the chaos of things, you're not sure when you're casting spells, but this time with the Mind Spike, it hits. It doesn't seem to hit as well as you thought it would in your mind. But it is once again its turn. It's Crom, you are the one right in front of it. So you are the one it's going for because you hurt it the most. And that
I'm gonna
is
use my first improved warding flare to give it disadvantage.
okay. So with disadvantage, that is a 13 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay, so as it goes to bite on your leg once again, just to kind of worry and tear at the already bleeding leg, you kind of duck out of the way, sidestep, and it just snaps right next to your leg, not able to latch on this time. And it is now your turn.
Awesome. Thank you for that disadvantage.
Yeah, it would have hit
okay.
otherwise.
Yeah. All right, so I'm a frenzy, and that just gives me. That gives me extra attack. Okay, so I'm going to try to hit it with the Vindicator.
Go for it.
23.
23 will hit, for sure. Go ahead and roll damage.
Woo! 20.
20 damage, alright.
Right. Plus 3.
That's right. So as you go in this time, just kind of taking it, even though it has kind of a blunted end on the Vindicator, it's just like this massive piece of rusted steel. you take it and just shove it into the crack you had made last time, and kind of pry open the shell. And as you do, just like innards just pour out, and this thing just kind of flops over into the shallow water, and makes a little bit of that same chittering noise as it slows down, and just it relaxes, and it is very, very dead.
Cool. I'm gonna do a roar and then flex my muscles.
It's a good look. All right.
I'm gonna cut it open and burn its heart.
Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check to see if you can find the heart in this thing.
17 plus 9.
Oh, wow.
I
25.
find anything else good?
Or not 25. 26. Do you find anything else good? Well, I mean, cutting it open before too long, you're able to find the heart, as Crom had really enabled you to see even more, just, cracking off the carapace of this thing. The anatomy is a little weird. It's slightly insect, slightly possibly something more animal. It's hard to tell, but you find the heart, and then you realize, just looking at it, that even though Crom's sword was able to crack this thing, her sword's of a kind of a divine nature, and it's a pretty hard material. Like, you think to yourself, if you took this along with you, you could maybe get somebody to craft something out of it.
I'm gonna take it along with me because I think I could give it to somebody and craft something out of it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Hey, Metal Child, please. Would you mind dragging this along for us, Metal Child?
The metal child looks at you and nods, and with one arm just kind of picks up the thing you had kind of sliced off the back of this thing, this kind of shelled carapace, and just puts it over their shoulder, dragging on the ground.
Does anybody require healing?
Yeah.
I think both of me and Chomp. But he needs it more, I think.
I can take both of you. I can do this both at the same time, probably.
You're phrasing.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will do prayer of healing. 6 creatures of my choice regain hit points. 2d8 plus wisdom, which is 5. So 7 and 4 is 11. 16 back, both of you.
Awesome, thank you.
I mean, with 6 creatures, you could do everyone in your group right now.
I thought they were the only ones who took damage.
Well, everybody took damage when the thing first burst out.
Everybody gets 16 hit points back,
Yay.
including me. And I did something bonus because I cast a healing spell.
Because you're cool like that.
No, I do.
What does it do? What?
Blessed Healer heals me. And I gain 2 hit points plus the spell's level. So.
Oh, cool.
Suck it. Yeah. I get 16 plus 4 back. That's 20.
It's 20. That's pretty good. All right. So, moving on then. Throughout the rest of this, I mean, just kind of shaking this off, Harper, like, just, why do I come with you people? Let's get back home. And just starts getting you through once again. It's fairly quiet the rest of the afternoon, and you make your camp once again. Yeah. Would anybody like to make a... I mean, usually it's Casilda who does this. So, Cirthus, would you like to make a perception check? Just keep an eye out overnight. It's up to you.
Yep.
All right.
Ugh. 10.
All right. Over the course of the night, I mean, you're out of the dinosaur kind of area. You don't see a whole lot. It gets pretty foggy over the course of the evening, and because even Casilda has some trouble keeping an eye out. Waking up in the morning with everybody else, though, as the dome dissipates, it's still foggy, and you know you have the better part of today traveling to get back to Bronbog. Who would like to make the last perception check for the trip here?
I mean, if it's at night, I do it, and if it's during the day, then I just let somebody else do it.
Well, it's during the day at this point because waking up in the morning, it's foggy and it's it's light out, but it's pretty dreary.
I did it, but I don't know why I did it because I got a 9.
Again, these digital dice are not good for Crom.
No, they're not. I
All right.
tried.
So over the course of the day, you don't see a lot. It's very foggy. And one more time, could I have somebody roll a d20? Let's see. Tom did it once. Who did it the second time?
I'll do it this time.
Go for
I
it.
think I did.
That sounds good. Yeah.
14.
14. Okay. Okay. Over the course of this day, in the fog, it's strangely chilly, even for the Bronbog. Like, it's usually a little bit warm here, at least. But something about this, it seems to almost like suck the warmth out of you in the fog. And, ooh, gosh, before even the late morning's over, you start to hear this just distant, like, thumping rhythmically, as if somebody was maybe
Like drums?
like
in the distance?
like drums in the distance. No, like logs being played as drums in the distance. Yes, drums in the deep. And you all pay, because it seems a ways off at first. You don't pay a whole lot of attention until a little bit later in the day. You'll start to hear it again, this time closer, as if somebody was like beating on hollow log or something like that, like more than one somebody.
Can I do a nature check to see if I am maybe again a native to the area?
I mean, without a check, I can tell you that you recognize this.
Is it fucking pygmy cannibals?
No, this is the drums of other lizard folk. You're not sure about what tribe, but you definitely recognize that as what's going on.
There are lizard folks in the area. But we should still be on our guard because they are not as all respectable or as trustworthy as I am. Or as accepting as other peoples. Or as demure in their eating habits as I am.
Handsome.
What? What did you just call him?
Or is handsome?
What?
He called you a handsome lizard.
Or maybe as
Is this the one that can turn into the T-Rex?
It is.
His
I-
neck frills start going a little bit.
You all watch as you didn't even know they were there, but these kind of frills along the side of Zippel's neck start to kind of fan out a little bit. I think he's into you, chump.
He's the lizard of the moment.
It's an odd kind of romance brewing. In any case, as you're kind of talking a bit, you hear them getting even closer, and you start to hear some calls within not the close vicinity, but close enough that you can start to hear. It sounds like this is, like you recognize it as Draconic, and Zippel, you recognize the actual words as a dialect. Not the same as the tribe that birthed you, but similar enough. Just hunting calls, calling back and forth, keeping track of where the other parts of the party are.
They are hunting something. Not necessarily us, but again, I wouldn't say that we're off the menu.
But they're friendly, right?
What?
But they're friendly, right?
Oh, there's literally no way of knowing that. And even if they are, they might be hungry, and that's just as bad.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we just keep going, sneak by, right?
It's a possibility. I don't know the skills of this particular tribe. I could yell something at them, but that might also draw them to us. It is up to you.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
All right.
And as we go, I'm going to activate my bracelet thing and cast Alter Self, and make myself look like a lizard folk.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It is an improvement for sure.
Watch as Chomp does this, and you see a fairly short lizard folk suddenly in your midst. Around gnome size.
Metal Child, please make sure you still have the crossbow. And if we start getting into it, you just blaze away, okay?
The metal child gives you a salute and hefts its crossbow in one hand as it's still dragging the carapace of the bullet in the other. All right, could you all make those stealth checks one more time? It is a 19 for Roland.
11 all told.
Okay. Six. All right.
10.
Okay. John.
Hold on.
He's
No, okay, hold on.
fumbling.
Okay.
It is. It's an 11.
11. All right. As you all are, because I rolled a perception check for them as well, and it was fairly low. They rolled an 8. As you all are trying to sneak your way through, fairly clumsily, except for a couple of you, Cirthus and Roland seem to be doing okay, along with Harper. The rest of you kind of stumbling through managed to stumble into a clearing that has quite a few, it looks like, something like a turkey in it, but a little bit larger and loud as well. And as they kind of start flapping and running off, you hear the lizard folk calls getting even closer, and holding your breath. It seems that they, instead of finding you, are heading after these birds that you have spooked, that have rushed off into the swamp around you. And as slowly you hear the sounds fade a bit. You even hear at least the sound of one of those birds meet a terrible end, with much slurping and ripping. It quiets down. and you are able to continue forward for today.
Zipio will kind of sigh a little bit as they get fainter and fainter, but that's all.
Okay. Near the end of this day, after your near run-in, you find yourself first passing a single homestead that's just kind of built up onto a mound in the middle of the swamp along this trail you're on. And then another, and then soon after, you start to smell kind of cook fires and things like that until you come into the fairly familiar, if very foggy today, confines of the village of Bronbog. The few collection of a few dozen different buildings, and in the center, of course, the kind of ruins of this ancient temple. Making your way up into the northern part of town, you find the Kraken, the small inn and bar that's seems to almost lean out over the road as it was constructed over the course of many years. The top level somehow being wider than the bottom level, and it's a ridiculous looking structure. But walking in, it's getting on to almost evening now, and it's a fairly brisk pace of business going on. You see the normal kind of gruff-looking dwarven innkeeper barkeep behind the bar, of course. Looking over towards the far right side in his regular place, you see Brog, the bullywog, once again huddled over papers with a small lantern burning nearby, just writing furiously. But you are back in Bronbog. Harper sits down at the bar and just gives a long sigh and says, "Well then, that'll be that, I suppose. Might I have the second half of my payment?"
Right.
Who's our banker? Isn't
I think
Roland-
Roland had the bag of holding with
Yeah.
monies and stuff in it.
It's true. I mean, there's enough in there that you could pay out of the general fund. Yeah.
I don't remember whatever we agreed upon, of course.
Yeah, what was that? How much?
I mean, I believe it was 100 gold, and you put 50 up front.
Sure.
Okay.
I would like to give Harper maybe 10 gold from my personal, just because I gave them a pretty hard time.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
It is because you have a grandfather.
Well, it'll all be going to him, let me tell you. Except for what I might drink here tonight, and it's not going to be that much. Let me tell you what. Thank you all for the opportunity, but I'm going to be gone. Thank you. And she just kind of wanders off down the bar, ale in hand. Seems to find a group of other local hunters or trackers and starts talking to them.
This is out of character or whatever, but
Yes.
y'all were way nicer because I was thinking about taking the money and bamfing up to the top of a tree, putting it there, and then have them climb yet another tree of their own free will.
I mean, the common room here in the Kraken does have a good 15-foot ceiling on it, and there are beams up there. You definitely could have gotten it up there. But it is too late now. Okay. For right now, you do not yet have the black dragon scale in your possession, but you have a way to get it, and you also have yet another reason to go after that blue dragon that you had previously met. So, what would you like to do?
Well, did we need anything specific from here? Superior health potions, or
We did find some mushrooms. I didn't know if we wanted to take them to that lady and just see if they're worth anything.
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I gotta stop him with Rob before we leave town.
Always. Sorry, I have to find the right notes for this. I have too many folders.
And what body part, what did you collect off of the land shark?
I think Metal Child, because I burned the heart as a religious experience, but I think Metal Child pretty much has the rest of the corpse in tow.
Yes.
So there's like a carapace that could be made into something.
Yeah, at the moment, in fact, as you're kind of standing in the midst of this bustling tavern, the metal child is standing with you with a good 10-foot long, like, upper carapace of this thing that is still, kind of rancid at this point, as it's been a day or two. Just holding it over its shoulder, looking around calmly.
Okay, I was just, I don't know. I have a fabricate spell where I can take raw materials and magically transform them into simple items. Uh, Also proficient with my tinkerer's tools. I don't know what I could do with those. I don't know. Just brainstorming about things to make out of a carapace.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, I mean, you've made armor before, as you made your arcano-mechanical armor that you wear.
Yeah.
Looking at it, there's enough here that you could make an entire set of plate armor out of this, and it is fairly strong, hard material.
Cool.
Yeah, so even in enchanted, you could make a fairly good set of armor. Now, it would be heavy, and like any
Does
plate
anybody-
armor, yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody in the party wear heavy armor?
Hello.
I mean, Zipple does.
Ah,
I
yeah.
could.
Go for it.
Give it to the rogue.
Yeah, they're okay.
But I mean, if nobody else wants it or needs it, or you don't want to sell it, don't go to strangers.
I mean, you could also make, I would say, probably 2 different shields out of it with this amount of material. But that's about. Yeah, those are the ideas that come right to your head, unless you think of other things in the meantime.
All right. Yeah. I'll be thinking about it. Probably make a. I don't know. Zpeel, do you use a shield?
I have a red dragon scale shield.
And what kind of armor are you rocking currently?
I'm currently wearing scale mail.
Plate armor? Would that be an improvement?
Probably.
Probably.
Probably look cool as hell.
Probably look really cool.
Like, super cool. I mean, yeah, it's something to think about. I mean, you'll need to put it. It is kind of cumbersome for the metal child to be dragging everywhere. So you'll need, while you're thinking, at some point you're going to need to find somewhere to put this. It won't fit into the bag of holding.
Right.
But in the meantime, did you say you wanted to try to go to the shop to see if you could trade in some of those mushrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So, making your way down the main drag here, which is really the only street in town, you find your way back to Maddox Medical Market, and Aberfa Maddock is, still there, all getting ready to close up, it looks like. But as you walk in, she says, "Aye, yes, well, did you find any more? Pieces of troll, anything really."
Yes.
and you're handing her the random mushrooms that you found? Yes.
Yes, that was the plan.
Okay, cool. Alright, she takes a look over them, kind of, making just some thoughtful noises as she picks up each one, kind of separates them into three different piles, looking, kind of counting on her hands a little bit, and says, I could give you, let's see, 20 gold for the lot. I mean, there's no the Queen's Cap here, but some of these could at least be used in several different potions, or, I mean, this pile here would just be for my own consumption, but... it's up to you.
Yes, I mean, sounds good to me.
Yeah, 20 gold is 20 gold.
Alright, well... Alright, well that'll do then. She kind of scrapes them all into 3 different bags, hands you 20 gold, says, it's nice doing business. If you're ever through again, let me know. We'll get some more going. Alright, well I have to close up, so if you could all scoot, please, leave.
Yeah, this bullet is probably getting a little stinky anyway here. We should go.
Indeed. And I'm going to start drawing some of this skein. Thank you. And as you leave, she locks the door behind you, changes the sign on the front to closed from open, and you are left standing in the now kind of twilight streets of a foggy Bronbog. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to do in town, or are we trying to get out of town?
I need to see Brog for a second, but that's all.
Okay. Anybody else?
I guess, while he goes and checks in with Brog, I guess before we get on the road, before we go anywhere else, I'll go ahead and fashion a set of armor from the shell there.
Okay. Would you like to find anybody to help you with that, or are you going to try to do it on your own?
I guess maybe some. What sort of? I guess maybe a combination of the fabricate spell along with my tinkerer's tools to put like straps or attachment pieces on.
Okay. I mean, I would say, just looking at it, that while here in town, you could at least fashion it into the rough shapes you need. But
Yeah.
it's going to take you a little bit longer to figure out, like it might take you over the course of, spending some time on a few different nights and things to figure out how it's all going to move and work together. Because you've done one set of armor before, but this is a different type. As well as, what kind of enchantment you want to try to put on it, if any. So yeah, you could definitely, over the course of this evening at least, manage to at least fashion the basic parts.
Yeah, and hollow out the flesh and get it in a more manageable, like, for carrying. You
Yeah.
can get rid of all the guts and...
Yeah, there's still parts of the spine in there, that's partially attached.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you're able to do that over tonight, definitely.
Yeah, I'll get that process started.
Okay. All right, heading back then. You go into kind of a back room and do that while Zippil, Brog is over in one of his normal spots. Seems to be just dead to the world, kind of riding away with his lamplight. What would you like to do?
But it is good to see you.
Yes. Zip, it's good to see you. Well,
I'm leaving town again.
you're so soon.
Yeah, Yisar wants me to kill another dragon or something. It's a whole thing.
You talked to a black dragon. It's very I'm sorry. I've been writing a book about Braunbog. Let me. And he shuffles a bunch of notes, brings out a whole different folder, and starts writing it. Please, tell me all about it. Do you mind?
No, yeah. Don't put Harper in your book because they're kind of a jerk. But yeah, he's big and he's ugly and he's some blue dragon kind of beat him up, and now he wants us to beat up the blue dragon. But
Interesting.
so that's what we're going to do. And look, I want you to take this bag of money, and I thought that I'm tired of seeing this statue of the sun god, the temple, looking like that. So I want you to start working on the rebuilding effort.
Of course. Thank you. We've been trying to take up a collection, but well, a lot of goods are sold and moved through Braunbog here. Of course, not much ever stays, it seems. That will help greatly.
Yeah, I've been like burning a lot of parts, so hopefully he'll want to look upon the
I mean,
iterate the attempt.
I mean, to each their own. That's. I mean, I don't necessarily. Yes, I mean, you've told me this before, I suppose. It's much appreciated.
Okay. Well, yeah, you take care of that, and if I get some more money, I'll send you somehow.
Sounds like a plan. Yes.
Okay.
Take care of yourself
Okay.
out there.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And he kind of cocks his head as you go away. His neck pouch is just doing a quick inflate, and then he shakes his head and goes back to his other notes. All right. So, let's say over the course of a couple hours, you're able to whittle down the pieces you need and everything, get them into the bag of holding or somewhere. Even just kind of carrying on over the shoulder, it's a lot easier at this point. Are we teleporting somewhere? Are you going to try to walk out of here? What are we doing?
Well, I guess the next stop is Signorn.
All right.
And yeah, teleportation circle.
All right. So and you have the stuff you need for that? Because it takes.
Well, I think I have. I recorded down how many uses I had based on like the supplies I bought. I think I have like enough chalk and stuff for one more use.
Okay.
I bought like 3 or 4 at the time, and I've used a few times since then.
That sounds right. I mean, I leave it up to you to keep track of that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So drawing kind of in this back room. It's a not much used storage room. It looks like that they're just lending you for carving up what you were carving up. As you clear off the last of the guts and stuff out the side door, you draw slowly and precisely over the next 10 minutes the runes and things in their circle that you need, and just before you are ready to put the last mark on, you look up at everybody else, make sure they're ready to go, and seeing that they are, you make the last mark, and as it flares into life, first just the chalk all lighting up and then starting to swirl, and this kind of portal opens, dropping into nothingness with this kind of faint blue light. You all drop through one after the other in quick succession. This feeling of in the middle of your chest of being pulled into infinity for a second begins. And then suddenly it seems that you take a left turn, and that it seems different than it had before. You seem almost wrenched off course, and you all stumble to find yourself in the midst of, it looks like some type of whirling wind and dust and detritus and clouds, and looking around, you see that all of you seem to be outlined in almost this kind of orangish yellow glow, along with the clouds around you seem to kind of glow a little bit with the same glow. You're not sure where you are or why everything looks different. And we're going to leave it that way until next time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right then. When?
So,
Having
yeah.
never been there, it feels like in Metal Child. This is Sigourn.
Were we trying to go to that teleportation circle we weren't supposed to go to?
No, you were trying to go to the one in the Elven City. So, Zibble, you had actually been to Singorn before.
Okay, then I don't say it.
Yeah. You were trying to go just to the capital of the elves, and it seems that something has pulled you off course.
Oops.
Lots changed since we last were here.
Yes.
Things weren't quite so orange and glowy.
Or windy.
They really let this place go down. They
All
let
right.
the fantasy target move in, and this is what happened.
Fantasy Target. Maybe Fantasy Walmart. All right. Well, thanks, guys. This was fun. I'm glad we got to play again. I'm sorry that it's been a while.
Yeah.
What's up?
A couple things. One is I've learned that Chomp is less concerned about dimension hopping potential demon spiders than regular spiders, and that we are willing to commit murder and be murdered for what essentially is toenail clippings.
You gotta do what you gotta do. And Trump is really more concerned with. It's more like things he doesn't understand versus things he understands. If I don't understand it, that's scary. But at least I know what it is. It's like, oh well, obviously those are demon spiders from another dimension. And at least it's not just like mysterious. How did those spiders get there?
And
Yeah.
Zippo was like, oh, he's just got a rock that makes snacks. And then I'm going to eat these spiders because maybe it'll piss off Love.
Yeah. It works. Snack Rock. I mean, you might just keep it around for that reason.
And about the vaccine, I got my first one the other day.
Rock? I did too. It knocked
Yeah,
me out for a
not the
whole
same day.
but yeah.
Mine, nothing for me.
Well, yeah, it
I
seems
don't
like
know if it's good or bad.
some people are fine with it, and I don't think that's bad. It's just that, like, certain people, and I was one of them, just have a bad reaction. I mean, it's not like I was real sick or anything.
Not
I was
bad.
just, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just achy, like really achy for about 12 hours or so. So,
I'm not an expert on it, but I don't know. I feel like I'd feel more comfortable if it actually caused some kind of response than nothing at all, you know?
I've heard a lot of people are saying that the second one is the one that really like knocks people on their ass.
oh, good. Well, I'll be getting that in
Yeah,
about
it's a
2
good
weeks.
person. 2?
Well, it's a little more than 2. It's like 2.5 from now.
So I thought it was a month.
It's 3 weeks for you get the Pfizer.
Moderna.
Okay, I don't remember what Moderna is, but I know I'm getting. They already scheduled mine April 15th. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Jordan, Kristen, get it as soon as you can, and we can all see each other again.
Yeah, we're getting ours next week.
Sweet.
The first one.
Awesome. It'll be exciting. It'll be nice. It'll be warm out. We can all.
And of course, I still got people at work that they've said that they refuse to get it.
I don't know. People are people.
I don't know. They're sheet metal, so they know all there is to know about viruses and stuff.
Exactly. All right. Well, it looks like. Oh gosh, let me look on here. April 11th. Does that work well for everybody? 2 weeks from now.
Yep.
Yeah, works for us.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like none of us are going anywhere. So.
We'll be here.
Awesome. Well, thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
I look forward to it next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks again.
I guess.
Adios.
Y'all have a good one.